Okay, Steady Eddie is here. What a bloody fool I've made for myself. I really, really, I'm in my pajamas, everyone. I'm in my pajamas, okay? I'm in my pajamas, and I really, really think that I've either gone to bed or I'm in the bloody twilight zone. If it wasn't enough to, I've actually accidentally cleared out the, I've been waffling on to myself the last few minutes. If it wasn't enough for me to bloody clear out from my hard drive the intro, which I use for this show, I've still got the old one. I can put the old. I'll tell you why I'm waffling. This is the old. Sorry, this is the one here. While I'm waffling, man, I'm just gonna go through. I'm just gonna go through this. Sorry about this. Sorry. Wait, then. Frozen lasagna. Sandra Taylor, good evening to you. Good evening, nice to hear from you. Okay, Matthew Cartwright, Lux 333. Matthew Cartwright, wake up, Eddie. Right now, well, I made a bit of a nerd of myself there. Not for the first time. Not for the first time. Okay, right. For one thing, I was making a video and I cleared out a lot of the stuff on my laptop because there wasn't enough space to save videos. And one of the things that's gone by the wayside, it appears, is the intro that I use for this channel. So I've had to use the other intro. I think I've cleared that one out by mistake. But also, I forgot to press the go live button. So I was waffling on for myself for about 5 minutes, but you didn't hear me. But anyway, there you go. Yoz Travels, good evening from Estonia. Nice to hear from you, Yoz. Yoz could be on the show soon if we get a good connection. He's on a cruise ship, and I want to know all about it. I'm sure Yoz will be thrilled to tell us all about it. So hopefully we'll have a guest soon. Let's see. Yes, she had to hear him off. I do like to hear his stuff. Okay. Sean Young, Eddie, where are you? I was in the Twilight Zone. Alistair Taylor. I watched Pale Rider last night. Great movie. Who else but Clint Eastwood would get away with the line? If there was more love in the world, there would probably be less dying. I don't remember that line. I have seen that film. Well worth a look. John Milne. Even I can't wait for your trip to Asia. It should be fun. Okay. Yoz Travels. Okay, Yoz Travels. Good evening. What's this? Martin Blunson. Maybe Ed is visiting Bellefield in the. Hey, that video went down well on the other channel, didn't it? And not only that, let me just tell you something about that video. I made that video because I've been watching Bellefield for a long time, and I know a lot of other people are making videos about him right now. But I just wanted to tell my version of what I thought of Bellefield. And on the other channel now, for the past couple of weeks, I've been sort of edging towards 43,000 subscribers and then going backwards. And I did actually at one for about an hour, I think it was. I actually hit 43,000 on the button. but then it fell back again. I thought, oh my, I'm never going to get there. But since yesterday, that's actually brought over 100 new subscribers. That one, more than 100 new subscribers. That video, anyway. So we'll talk about Bellefield if you want. We'll talk about them, and if you don't want to talk about, we won't. I mean, this is about whatever you want to talk about. There you go. Hello, Daddy. Okay. Hello, Dolly. Leaving England, Ed is at Belfield's prison asking for his money back. I never said anything. Pinball. Evening, Ed. What's your tipple tonight? Well, I've got a nice Coors Light here, but I might just treat myself to a real ale pretty soon. This is Saturday evening. There's nothing planned tonight. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Hopefully, Yoz Travels can come on and he'll tell us all about us. I'm fascinated. I've seen his pictures of his cruise ships. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now, because he's there waiting anyway. I'm going to send him the link, and it might take a while. It might take a while to get this through. Okay, might just take a while to get this through. It usually does. Okay. So that's it. Okay. So there you go. So I've sent Yoz Travels, who's on a cruise liner in Estonia. I've sent him a link, and hopefully he can come on. Sometimes it takes about 5 minutes for that to get through. We'll waffle. We'll talk about Alex Bellefield if that's what you want to talk about. I mean, I think people in America or Australia or whatever may not have known who this guy is, but some people in Britain may not have known who he was. But I think after a lot of them watched my video last night, it's easy to do research on him. So I think we all really know who this guy is now. Andrew Hammond. It seems like Bellefield was conning a lot of us. He was taking the BBC to court when in fact it was the other way around. What a snake. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, isn't it? It is interesting to think. I mean, all of this time, everyone knew that the date was set for July the 6th. That's when his court case begins. It's interesting how many people up to that time thought that what this and he kept using this line, "I'll have my day in court," and his fans were all rubbing their hands. We can't wait. We're right behind you, Alex. How many people actually thought that this was all about him taking the BBC and the police and other people to court? When actually it was him who was being taken to court. If you'd have Googled it, as I did, and seen there's always two sides of the story. We were only hearing his. I Googled it and I found that people like Jeremy Vine, they were taking him to court. And apparently this was planned a long time. So, oh, well, whatever. I've got no sympathy for him. No sympathy. I was a fan of his. I watched it. I enjoyed his live streams. But at the end of the day, he's not a nice guy. Don't care about. He wouldn't care about you. I mean, he's not a nice guy at all. And I know people are saying that he got too long in prison, and whatever. He intimidated a lot of people through his vicious, campaign, really, which had gone on. For a long time. Long time. Okay, so listen, guys. Good evening, Kipax. Good evening, pajama party tonight. Okay, David Coleman. Who's this? David Coleman. Do you know a lesbian have a penis in the UK? Let's talk about this. I actually don't know enough information about that, but I'll tell you what. A quick squeaky door time, and then Yoz Travels is going to be on in a minute. Whoa, all right. Okay. a quick skip. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's just have a little. Ed Sweeney's 20 stone white back in England. We can't hear you. I wish I couldn't bloody hear you. Okay, anyway, here we go. I'm going to skip forward. Apologies if I've missed everybody in the chat here. Okay, but we're going to get a guest on. He's on a cruise ship in Estonia. I've seen his pictures on Facebook. Looks absolutely fantastic. So welcome to Yoz Travels. Okay, Yoz, nice to see you there. Okay, cheers to you, boy. All the cheers. Like, nice little cabin that you've got. Well, it's a big cabin. Looks like a big cabin there. See, that's you on the ship right now.
Yep, I'm in the cabin. Is my audio coming through okay?
It's coming through fine. It's coming through fine. Absolutely superb. The only I've got to tell you, Ross, no swearing. You know, it's like a family show. I mean, I do a little bit of it, but you know, like not of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've just about got the connection to. I'm not sure if this is going to drop out or not, but hopefully it stays on.
It's absolutely fine now. It's absolutely fine now. You're coming through loud and clear. Absolutely. So, Matthew Cartwright, Pinball says good to see you, Yoz. Matthew Cartwright, okay. Yoz Travels at the gamble tonight. See you well known in the chat. Okay.
So I've loaded up from the bar tonight, so I've got quite a few different bottles of beer.
Yo.
So I've got a couple of wheat beers.
Yeah, that looks good.
I've got a couple of IPAs.
Looks nice. Nice stuff.
And a couple of souls.
Well, souls, I like the first two. 2 out of 3 isn't bad. I think I tried the soul. Not really for me. Okay. So, Mark Alex saying, good evening, Yoz. You're popular there. They all seem to know you. We've got, no, do you know that I there's not many people who are good at handling trolls, but I'm pretty good at patronizing because they're a bunch of men. Here's a troll for you, Yoz. Do you know this one here? The Raven's Claw. Edward has many weird friends. Anything else?
That doesn't bother me. I am a bit weird.
No. I think the Raven's Claw is a bit bloody weird. Anyway, but anyway, Charles. Well, listen, I've never been on a cruise ship in my life, Yoz, but I've seen them and I'm fascinated by them because last couple of years, down on the south coast, that terrible scenario, all those beautiful big cruise ships were just backed up doing nothing. They weren't allowed to sail because of the pandemic. And I have actually got a video somewhere deep down on this channel when I filmed them all from a distance. And they just look amazing, absolutely amazing.
To be honest, Ed, when COVID hit around the world, there's obviously thousands of cruise ships around the world, but just outside of Southampton, they must have been at least 25, 30 of them docked.
Yeah.
They were there for nearly 12 months, just docked doing nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. We kind of got used to the sight of them. But I would just like to go on one of those and just have a walk. The reason I'm fascinated, I've never got no experience in them at all. I've been on ferries, across the channel and that sort of stuff. But the thought that, mankind can actually build something like this, a floating palace, I just like to go on one and just have a walk around it.
Do you know what, Ed? Cruising gets a stigma. People just think posh people go on cruises. It's nothing like that. It's not like in the 70s, 60s, 80s, even the 90s. Now cruising has become actually cheaper to go on a cruise than what it is to go over to Vegas or go to LA or even go to Mexico on all inclusive. And
yeah, absolutely.
I must have been on 20 cruises now, and the food on cruises is 10 times better than any all-inclusive resort you'll go to.
Really.
And then if you add I was very lucky and got a really cheap deal on this one, but it included a premium drinks package.
Yes.
And the amount of choice of drinks you can have just in the pub, there's like 52 different beers to choose from.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, it will do.
So that's actually all inclusive, is it?
Yeah. So what I got a deal on this one. So the deal was there was a free balcony upgrade and it was a free premium drinks upgrade on it. So
yeah,
you wouldn't believe how much I paid for this 14-night cruise. I paid £949, which is £67 a night.
67. Jesus, some people
All
spend
food,
more than that
all
staying at
drink. You
home.
can't even get the Premier in Liverpool for that.
Jesus Christ! I mean, that's it's probably cheaper to go one of them for some people than it is to stay at home. Really,
So
the cost of living there.
Even though I'm solo on this cruise, Ed, you'll see that some of my pictures on Facebook. I'm with a big group of people on some of the pictures.
Yeah.
That's because I do a lot of posting on a few different apps. So when that deal come about, I posted that deal on another app, and 25 other people actually booked that same deal as what I got.
Yeah.
So them same 25 people that booked it, we've all been in contact with each other. So we all meet up each night and have a few drinks together.
That sounds brilliant. That sounds like a really, really brilliant. I mean, if I was to, I loved it. You would love the thrill of just stepping out of my cabin of a night time and just hearing that, the sea just, crash out there. I love all of that. That sounds fantastic. So how big is the actual ship that you're on at the moment?
The ship I'm on is the eighth biggest cruise ship in the world. I think it grosses at 189,000 tons. There's only another like 7 that's bigger than it, and it holds 634 guests and near 2,000 crew.
Yeah. That's absolutely amazing. Now, am I right? Because I've seen them and they just look so colossal. I remember once I traveled through the Amazon on a Brazilian boat, but Brazilian, and that was quite a wonderful experience. But it was small, like. And when the boat stopped at Manaus and docked at that city of Manaus in the Amazon, as I got off the boat, there was a huge white Fred Olsen cruise liner. And I think that's actually the closest I can remember being. And I just stood up at this and it just took me breath away how massive that was. Really, really.
Back in the day, Fred Olsen were a big player in the actual cruise game. They're not no more, but they used to be a big player in the 80s.
Yeah. Let's just have a little teensy-weensy look at the let's see. Yeah, well, listen, K-Pax is a nice guy. K-Pax is a nice guy. I like K-Pax. I'll allow him this joke. Yoz. Another from Liverpool. Hide your wallets. Okay. I like K-Pax. K-Pax is a good guy. He's a good.
Tell K-Pax to follow me on YouTube, Yoz Travels, and not YouTube. Follow me on. I'm not sure. I don't want to actually do a YouTube, but I've just opened a new Facebook page which you've joined with me, and I'm going to be posting a lot on there. So to be honest, this whole year all I've done is travel. This year I've been everywhere, so
that's not a bad lifestyle.
That's not a bad lifestyle. Don't get me wrong, when it comes to January I'm going to start working again, but this year's been a year out. I've been celebrating my divorce.
That's a good celebration. You weren't married to you weren't married to my ex-wife, where celebrating.
No, me and the ex-missus are actually pretty good mates still, so it's not too bad.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear, isn't it? That's good to hear. We'll put the nice comments on here. Let's see. Joseph Darroch, Scouse Brothers. Is that how you spell? I think it's spelled with an S. Stephen West. All right, okay. Paul Hoskin, yes, Loz, good lad. I think his name's Yoz, actually. Let's see. Cormac Wilkie, it was the last 15 pints that done me last night. Okay, bottle baby. Let me see. Yeah, Mark Alex, speaking of a good beer, has Yoz ever heard of Brewmeister Snake Venom?
Yeah, I've heard of it. It's very strong.
Apparently, it's very strong. It's very expensive. I think the percentage is stronger than a bottle of whiskey. It's a lot more than 40%. I think that would be a bit more. I've got to try it sometime, but I'm not really sure I could get through a whole bottle. But that's Mark Ollig. He's got a great new profile pic, Stan Laurel, and he's a really great guy. Oh yeah. Do you want to answer this? If you don't want to answer this, K-Pax, any ladies and nice on that ship? You don't have to,
no, but there was quite a few ladies at night in Estonia.
Yeah, really, yeah.
Yeah, well, they reckon it's the third biggest in Europe for the brothels, and they reckon they're trying to legalize it a little bit like Amsterdam.
Oh, that sounds nice. See, everyone, you do get some good information on this show. You do get some good information. Okay.
Not that I was looking. I wasn't looking into it.
No. You know what? No. But I mean, the thing is, if I was to go there, I think the cruise ship would be enough for me. I'd be more than happy with that. Let me just say, maybe you can answer this question. You know, when I was looking with fascination at all those absolutely stunning big ships that were out at sea in the last couple of years, they're doing nothing. Somebody said to me, as I was just gobsmacked at the size of some of them, and there is a video on this channel deep down, if you from a year or so ago, a couple of years ago, if you want to see it. I was fascinated with them. Somebody actually said to me that if you was to put the Titanic close to those ships, the Titanic would actually look small in comparison.
The Titanic would look like a Roman Abramovich's private yacht.
Would it really? Would it really? Yeah.
It'd be a bit bigger than that, but it's what did the Titanic hold? About what 900? Was it 900 and something people?
Yeah. Well, it's yeah. You know that's yeah. You know that's what somebody said to me. I remember there's a white one. There was a white one out there, a Chewy ship, and it was white and blue, and it just I couldn't stop looking.
2 year change now. They've changed into a German company called Marella. So they've went into Marella cruises. But again, they're all inclusive cruise lines. So you just pay one price and then everything's included.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder, just a little quick chat here. All right, Bellefield sounds was well over the top, obviously these days. Have you heard of Alex Bellefield? Not
really. I haven't followed that at all. No.
No. Okay, we won't talk about what you know while you're on there. It's a big issue over the weekend, but we won't.
I did follow your video and stuff, but I don't really know much about him.
Yeah, that actually was quite popular. That's brought me about over 100 new subscribers. That video from yesterday. But yes, so it's. I mean, what are the cruises have you been on then, Yoz?
I've done the Caribbean, probably 8 or 9 times. The Caribbean. Canaries cruise, the Meds cruises. This is a Scandinavian cruise. Yeah. I've never went fit. I've never done. I'd like to do one around Japan. That goes into Singapore and stuff, but I think going to the Far East, I'd rather get a flight and spend a few weeks there, which I'm doing. November the 7th, a flight to Singapore, and then I spend 7 weeks then traveling Southeast Asia.
So in order to actually get to where you are on that ship, how did you get there from your home to actually get on the ship? What transport did you take?
So I know you hate trains, Eddie, but I use the train.
Oh, no, I don't really use the train. The trains are great, but the price they're unreliable. That's what I was thinking.
Coming from Liverpool, because obviously you're down south, aren't you, Ed?
Yeah.
Coming from Liverpool, getting a coach down south, some National Express, you're looking at like 8 or 9 hours on a coach. When I can jump on a train and be in Southampton from Liverpool in 3.5 hours.
Oh well, that's what's good. I have done years ago. I did the trip from Liverpool to London. So let's get to Southampton. That's I'd get a coach to Southampton, but I wouldn't. I mean, I can get to Heathrow in 4.5 hours. So. Yeah. I think that would be quite easy for me.
But when I go to Singapore, I'm flying with BA, but I didn't use cash to pay for the flight. I used Avios points.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty lucky. I had enough Avios points to cover it. So my return flight with BA is direct to Singapore, and I didn't end up paying for that flight. I used Avios points for that, but. Then we fly from Singapore to Bangkok. I think it might be with Scoot Airways.
Scoot Airways, Singapore. Yeah, I've been on Singapore. I was on Scoot Airways from Bangkok to Gatwick, and I thought it was pretty good.
Sometimes, Ed, you've noticed in your comments that I take the piss out of you a little bit because I always say to you should do more research and you should actually book your hotels in advance. I always say that to you. And my whole trip, it's booked. Every single hotel right the way through the 7 weeks. And the apartment, the condos, everything's booked. I haven't got to do nothing. So once I turn up there, every single thing's booked.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. I do a book on booking.com. I mean, for my travels this winter time, I'm away for 4 months. I've actually booked the first 2 months. All the hotels are already. So it's just like occasionally I'll end up at everyone remembers the Swan Inn in Bangkok. That bloody some people won't let me forget it. I didn't book the hotel. I just assumed it was going to be open there, the whatever it was called, the one I usually stay in. But I ended up in this dive of a hotel, and I just can't live it down, really, that one.
Yeah, I remember it. But I tell you what, something that was a little bit worse was that one in where you had to go about 300 miles to the toilet. It was fun though. What made it even funner was you actually done a live stream outside the toilet.
I know, yeah. It was fun though. That's what traveling's all about. The reason I stayed in that one, that was in Romania on the Black Sea coast, it was simply because it was good value. The hotels weren't very good value there, and that was one of the cheapest ones. I think it was about 38 quid a night for that dive. Oh, the others were much more expensive. But you pay a lot more money for the shared. So I knew it was a shared bathroom and all of that. I didn't realize that the bathroom, I'd need a bloody aeroplane to get there. I didn't know about that bit. Anyway, Dutch Farang says, what places did you ship dock?
So we started off in Oslo. This has got a really good itinerary. We started off docking in Oslo for 2 days. Then we went from Oslo to Copenhagen for 2 days. Now we're in Estonia, Tallinn for 2 days. So we'll meet again tomorrow. Then we go to Helsinki for 1 day, Finland.
Wow.
And then we go to a place called Visby.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if that's Norway or Sweden, but we're going to Norway and Sweden. There's Visby and then Skeggen.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then
that sounds absolutely fantastic. Well, I'd like to. I mean, you mentioned other ones, the Caribbean, and I'd actually like to do that one, the one that you're on now.
The Caribbean's really good, Ed, because the islands are so close to each other. If you grab a 14-nighter to the Caribbean, you end up with a British ship, not the American. The Americans only mostly do 7 nights, but the British ships do 14 nights, and you see 11 islands in the 14 nights. It's really good.
That's absolutely fantastic. That's, oh my God, I got to do it sometime. I really, really got to do it. I mean, next year. I have to do a cruise.
There's loads of cruise vloggers. You can vlog on a cruise ship, but they're all like pretty quiet vloggers. When you're cruising with, you got to like tone it down a bit. When you're vlogging, you got to tone it down a bit because you'd stand out a mile.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think the way the world is going. I mean, Thailand is going this way. I mean, really, the days of pointing your camera around without permission from people are rapidly deteriorating. In Thailand, I mean, the way it's going now, anyone who walks around with a camera catching people, in the shot is likely to end up in trouble. The way the world's going, the only people you're going to be able to film are those you've got their permission beforehand.
It's going stupid, isn't it?
And the thing is, I mean, it used to be easy to film people with the mobile phone or with the camera, because a camera looks like a camera. I mean, I've been in some places where I've met, bar girls or whatever, and I said, "Can I take a picture of you?" Yeah, fine, not a problem. And as soon as I pulled the little camera out, no. Whereas if I were to pull the mobile phone out, they would have been all right.
There's 2 younger vloggers I follow that quite a few of the channel follow as well. K's1 and Dan the Man. Now Dan the Man's channel got taken down, and he's saying he's clueless why his channel got taken down. And even K's1, he tried to upload his last video that he done in Pattaya.
Yeah.
And he's tried to upload about 6 times, editing it every single time, and it won't get monetized.
Yeah, well, Dan the man's a channel. He's very, very good with his channel's actually been taken down a couple of times. The first time was because there's too many nightlife stuff, and YouTube's getting very, 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 very prudish when it comes to nightlife videos. Anything that looks like a nightlife video instantly gets demonetized. You know, so but he had also had an issue with the advertising, the AdSense on the second one. Yeah, I'll just read out a couple of couple of them. You know, couple. Yeah, Mark Ollig, any ladies of the day? I suppose you could. In Estonia, I suppose you could. It sounds bloody good there. And one thing I know about those ladies there, those Eastern Europe, those ladies in that part of the world, I've seen some of them. Some of them work in England, you know, in you know, bar jobs or whatever, and some beautiful birds there. Oh, do you know what, Yoz? I was starting to get worried in this stream. Somebody was, I thought they were missing from this stream. I was kind of worried about him. There he is. He's here. Good old Gaz. I got kicked off a cruise once for taking a poo on the top deck. Okay, fine. Thank you. Hello, Gaz. Who's this? Oh, God, Jesus. Who's this? Who's this? Yeah, never bloody heard of him. Scousers always pull a food poisoning scam and all these claim on the. Oh, beat it. What did he like? What did he like, eh? Clive is here. Eddie's off to Estonia then. I think after what Yoz has told us, I think we're all going to be going there, aren't we?
It's not cheap for the beer, though, Ed. It's not cheap for the beer.
Yeah.
I think the average. I had 3 pints today in 3 different bars, and the average price was €8 for a pint of beer.
It's about £7 in today's money, isn't it?
Not cheap.
That's expensive. That's expensive.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people. I do know. I've been to a few, you know, places in Eastern Europe, and a lot of people back here have never been there. They hear stories about it's all 50 pence a pint and all that. It's not true, is it? Even you know, some of those places be quite expensive. I also hear. I mean, I haven't been to those. They call them the Baltic Tigers, don't they? Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia. They call them the Baltic Tigers. I've also heard that they can be a bit notorious if you wander into any of those tourist traps. You have to be careful for that as well, don't you?
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit too experienced for that, though.
No, I wouldn't go on any of that. I was in Romania, and a couple of them tried it on with the old tourist trap stuff. There's one place I was heading towards a bar with a live band, and it was and I've been there before. And it's a good bar, and I just passed this doorway, and this guy said, "Yeah, are you coming here, my friend?" I thought he was. It was right next to the bar with a live band, and I thought he was ushering me in this way. I thought this is the entrance, and then a girl said, "Yeah, you coming here? You coming in?" And I thought, wait a minute, this is a different bar. This is a bloody bugger off, no chance. And another one, I was sitting at it, having a kebab or whatever it was in Heros. And a blonde girl come up to me and started chatting to me. We go to a bar and all this. No, you can bugger it. I'm wise to all of that. I'm 60 years old. I'm not going to get caught in a tourist trap either. You've given Paul Hoskin an idea now. I come here to find a Monk hotspot. Estonia is going to be on the list. You've given him an idea now. Let's see. Okay. Here's a question for you. I was going to do a few questions for Yoz because he's on this ship here, and we want to know. Bend over. Hi, Yoz. Are you cruising in the fjords in the west of Norway?
No, so this is not a fjord cruise. The fjords tend to take, when you do a fjord cruise, they take the very narrow paths. Obviously, I don't know if people know what a fjord is. It's like it's where the land in between two. I can't explain like a proper like a proper geography person, but it's where bit like the Grand Canyon. It's where a crevice has been made over the years and the water's filled in. So it's like a bit like a river, like a canal. So no, we're not seeing that. We're not seeing the Norwegian fjords, and there's fjords all over Scandinavia. We're doing all the main cities. If you want to see them fjords, you got to actually do a fjords cruise. Yeah, and they visit like small towns and things like that. Where I'm going to big cities.
Yeah, Okay. Well, that's fine. Well, I hope bend over. I hope that answers your question. Let me see. Now, let's see. Another question for you. Anyway. Yeah, Sandra Taylor. Sandra Taylor. She wants to know. Yeah, but while you answer this question, I'm just going to nip to the fridge and get myself a beer.
Yep.
She wants to know if she has a blue or a red.
Oh, I'm a blue. I'm a blue. But I stopped. I still follow football, but I'm more into me. But I've been following boxing for years. That's why I go to Vegas a lot. I go and watch the big boxing shows in Vegas. I go to gamble as well, but mainly for the boxing. So I'm into me boxing and more Clive F1. I'm into me F1 quite a bit as well. I love me F1. Lewis Hamilton's the top guy.
Okay. Yeah. He gets a lot of criticism. I don't follow a lot of sport personally, but I would follow it if I would like to follow Formula One. It doesn't appear on terrestrial TV anymore, does it?
No, I watch it. I don't pay for Sky. I've got my own IP. Like I pay for the IPTV, so whenever I am in the world, I can actually watch sports. And again, I'll wake up early in the morning to watch. There's a massive boxing fight on tonight with Triple G against Canelo. The Mexican Canelo Alvarez against Triple G, and that's in Vegas. It'll be starting about 5 a.m., half 4 a.m. UK time, but it should be on about 6:30, 7 a.m. where I am in Estonia. So I'll tune in and try and watch that fight if I've got a decent connection.
Yeah. That sounds good. Let's tell us what you think of Lewis Hamilton a moment, because, like I say, I mean, he's a bit of a legend, but he just gets so much criticism.
Lewis Hamilton, because he's got a massive opinion, people don't like anyone with opinions. A little bit like Anthony Joshua with the boxing. I don't want to go into race and stuff. They're a person of colour, and then when they have an opinion, people don't like it.
Yeah.
So Formula One has always hated Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton is not your typical Formula One driver. He ain't white, and that's it. He's the first. I think there was people who were really big fans will probably be able to name maybe one or two other black or mixed race drivers over the past. Yeah. But he's the first black driver to actually. He's overtook. Even though he hasn't won the 8th world title yet, he's took every single one of Michael Schumacher's records. He's took them all. Apart from he needs that one more world title to break it and not, and he's equal to it. So you don't like him. Bernie Ecclestone, who was always in charge of Formula One, he's lived most of his life now in Brazil. He's up for all sorts of tax fraud and everything. Bernie Ecclestone, and he's a racist himself. Yeah. So for him to get where he's got in Formula One over these years and win what he's got, they hate it. They don't like it.
I mean, the thing, how the hell is somebody well into his 80s? You know, how does he want to make more money? I can't figure that. How long does he think he's going to live? But you know, with regards to Lewis Hamilton, it's not really a sport that I pay attention. But when it was on terrestrial TV, I watched it then. But not in recent times. But I must admit, in recent times, there's a wonderful film. I think it's called Rush, a biopic of James Hunt and Niki Lauda.
Yeah, it's a crackerhead. I've watched it. There's also the one about Senna. The one about Senna.
I've seen that one. Yeah. I've seen the one about Senna and also the one about Schumacher.
Yeah, the documentary about Schumacher.
Now, I've got a curious thing, and Lewis Hamilton sort of bypasses me because I don't really see it on TV, and I don't pay that much attention. But I can imagine that if I'm still alive in 20 years' time, if someone makes a documentary about Lewis Hamilton, I can imagine in 20 years' time I'll watch that documentary and think, you know, that guy was pretty amazing. He was quite amazing.
There's a few things on YouTube about him. You see some of the old videos of, like, on the camcorders, the old camcorders of when he was like 11, 12 years of age, and his dad. He didn't come from money. His dad actually put all his wages into like buying his first couple of go-karts, and he was tearing up in a go-kart that was no good. Like he was against a guy called his teammate from Germany. You can put it in the comments.
Yeah,
the guy that Nico Rosberg.
Yeah.
So him and Nico were the same age. They were best mates growing up. 11, 12, 13, 14. Nico Rosberg was always sponsored by big teams, but Hamilton as a go-kart and with an old go-kart that his dad kept repairing, beat Nico Rosberg every single year.
Yeah.
And in the end, Rosberg won his world title against Hamilton. It was a really good battle. All the Formula One fans know about it. And it took that much out of Nico Rosberg that he couldn't go on the next year. It took so much out of his heart and soul. He retired.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's fascinating stuff. I mean, you know, I should watch more of it. I tend to sleep more, you know, nowadays than do anything else. But I should really watch more. Yeah, Stephen Taylor. Yoz should do a cruise ship vlog. Seen the ships in Southampton, even delivered 9 pallets direct under the ship ones. But we'd be great to see on board and come to the visit. So, what are you going to do? You know, are you going to vlog all of these?
I don't know, Ed. As I said, I've got that Yoz Travels on YouTube. I uploaded one video about 3 or 4 years ago, and it's my ex-missus. She paid for this super duper amazing suite at the back of the ship. It was I think it cost her about 8 or 10 grand for this suite.
Wow.
And I done a room tour, and I uploaded that, and suddenly about 200 people subscribed just straight away to see that one room tour. And I've never ever done I've never done anything since. So I don't know.
Well, you've got the personality, I'm pretty sure. But it's the thing about cruise ships. I don't know how difficult they will.
No, it wouldn't. So Ed, I wouldn't do stuff just about cruising, because I'm not about just cruising. This is just one thing to do. Yeah. This year I've done 2 cruises. I've done 2 beach holidays, and I've travelled across America. I've done all travelling this year, and then I finished the year off doing obviously Singapore and Thailand. Yeah. But that is a one-off year. Normally, I only go and travel 2 or 3 times in a year. I don't do a whole year traveling like I've been doing.
Well, that sounds pretty amazing. With all that travel, I mean, I'll say one of the things that I've traveled for many years in South America and various other places, and even in South America, I thought nothing about getting my I had a camcorder then. I can't seem to upload those old videos. They're rough and ready there. But I was wandering around, places in Brazil with my camcorder, talking into it and whatever. But I didn't have a YouTube channel. I was just doing it for my own personal enjoyment. But I kind of got used to talking to myself in public. I mean, there was some instances, some hairy instances when I was wandering around places like Quito and Ecuador and cities in Brazil, and I was talking into my camera and waffling on, and it was a camcorder. Yeah. And from a distance, it might have looked like a gun. And, I remember a couple of instances, I was talking into my camcorder with the screen there, and I kind of clocked, and police, and all the police are heavily armed. They were looking over at me very, very curiously, like as if they were thinking, what the hell's it? Should we shoot him, shall we? I mean, it's, but I wish now that I had been on YouTube then. And one of the beauties about you being on YouTube, being a travel vlogger, is that, you make your videos, you upload them to YouTube, and if you have a certain number of subscribers, then they will watch it, because it's the scenario where if you go on holiday and you got loads of photos and then you show them to people, some people will think, oh, great, fantastic. But there's some other people think, oh, he's not going to show me his photos again. I don't have to do that. I just put all my travel on YouTube, and people either watch it or they don't. So with all that travel that you're doing, it'd be great if can people get in touch with you on Facebook or
just the Facebook page is Yoz Travels.
If well, everyone remembers that one anyway. Okay, everyone remembers
on that. I've been uploading. That's new. I've only just started that for the past couple of months, so I've been uploading everything I've done this year onto it. Yeah. But I got addicted to travel more when I was younger. I mean, my first girlfriend in Liverpool, her mum was from Bootle in Liverpool, and her dad was from a place called Tampico in Mexico. Yeah. And we were together about 2 or 3 years, and we decided that we're going to give Mexico a go. So when I was about 21, I moved to Mexico for 6 months. But there was no way that I could. I'd done my apprenticeship here. I'm a joiner by trade at Fit Kitchens. Yeah. So when I got to Mexico, we'd done about 6 months of traveling, visited their family. Spent about 8 weeks in Mexico City. Now, Mexico City was an eye-opener, especially at 21 years of age. Yeah. And it got to a time where we kind of spent our money, and it was like we had to start working in Mexico.
Yeah.
I think I lasted about 3 or 4 weeks looking for work in Mexico, and I come home.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on, Ed.
Sounds fascinating. I went to Mexico years ago, and it looked fantastic. But I only went to Cancun, Playa del Carmen, and that Chichen Itza pyramid.
Yeah, Chichen Itza. Well, that's one of the wonders of the world, isn't it, Chichen Itza?
Oh yeah, I actually climbed it. I don't know if you can still do that now.
You can't do it no more, Ed. No, you're not allowed to climb up. You can still do the echo where you shout at it and it echoes back at you.
Yeah. I thought that was quite wonderful, actually. Yeah. But rather than traveling through Mexico, I then started getting a little bit, thinking I was getting a little bit too clever, and started going into places like Belize, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, those kind of places. And they were fascinating.
Yeah.
Some better than others. But I always swear I'm going to return to Mexico one of these days.
People think them countries, because the way they're portrayed in movies and in documentaries and prison programs, people think them countries are all like so dangerous and don't go there, you're going to get robbed and that. You know what? Some of them are the most friendliest countries you'll ever go to.
Oh, you met some fantastic people there, absolutely fantastic people. Let's see. Just say hello to a few people. There's David R, who has been on this show. He's heading out to Thailand pretty soon. Can't wait. I am as well. He's heading into Thailand one of the next couple of weeks. So good for you, David. Let's see. David Coleman, lots of drunks fighting on these ships over another man's wife. You've been watching too many movies.
I tell you what, though, Ed, there's lots of drunks on the American ships are the worst for it.
Oh, do you really?
You see the amount of stuff that gets uploaded on YouTube with the Americans fighting on all them Royal Caribbean ships. It's
really.
Oh yeah, they've actually got cells on the ship. But when that happens, the security will take it to the cell.
Imagine going on holiday and ended up in a bloody cell. Some places are like that. I find personally, I mean, I'm heading out to Cambodia as well, as well as Thailand. I find that Cambodia, the last time I was there, that's because of the cheap booze, it's starting to attract a lot of the hardcore alcoholics. Last time I was there, Thailand was starting to get expensive because the baht was going so strong. And I noticed that Cambodia is starting to attract a lot of the alcohol. I mean, some of those places that I used to love in Cambodia, in Phnom Penh. I mean, there's not worse. You be in a bar, and the next minute some bloody drunk comes in. So, and the thing is, they always seem to want to talk to me, funnily enough. And Cambodia is like that. Too many bloody drunks around nowadays. Mark Ollig, I don't quite get that. When a person is outside their public, people have videoed in the States, they'll Google. Yeah, we're talking, Mark's talking about, filming people in public now. It's now becoming, it's going to become a hotbed issue in Thailand now, because sooner or later, somebody's just quite instantly going to be filming himself, and they're going to catch someone in the background, and this person in the background is going to think, there's money to be made here. I'm going to sue this person here. I mean, because do you know what happened in Thailand, in Walking Street quite recently? Now, I'm not so sure what to say, but an Indian fella was supposed to have groped a Thai girl in Walking Street. Now, that's wrong. That is definitely wrong, but I've been groped by Thai girls in Walking Street. But an Indian guy groped a Thai girl, and he ended up having to pay 200,000 baht. She took him to court. And which is about $5,000 in English.
That's
money.
really expensive for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Mark Ollig says, I don't quite get it. When a person is outside their public, people are videoed in the States, although Google Street apps blur their faces and auto license plates. Yeah, it'd be good. It'd be good if I could film it and it would automatically blur the face, because I don't always want other people on my camera. When I'm talking. But there's all kinds of, there's going to be all kinds of issues.
But I don't get it, because this rule for Pattaya and for Thailand, that rule doesn't carry on for the rest of the world, does it? Because you can be walking around London doing your vlogs, you can be walking around Paris doing your vlogs, you can be walking around Amsterdam doing your vlogs. None of them are going to get stopped or monetized the way it is for Thailand.
Yeah, I mean there's different rules for different play, but I don't know. I think I think it's going to. I mean that incident with the I mean you know groping a girl on walkers. He's a Thai girl. Apparently she had a steady day job. I mean that's very wrong. That's very wrong. But most of us guys who've been there think, Jesus Christ, how many times have I walked along Walking Street and girls have grabbed hold of me?
Oh yeah, I don't agree with groping a stranger, no. But
no.
When you're talking about filming,
Yeah,
I don't know why there should be a rule for that one place if there's
yeah.
not a rule for the whole.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
other cities.
I've told this story before, but you know a GoPro. Have you ever used a GoPro?
Yeah, and I've got my GoPro 7 Hero Black, and I haven't replaced it because it's still so good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, GoPro they are good. I've had that for a few years now, and it's great when you strap it to your chest. You have a chest strap and you walk around. You just want to film stuff. It's brilliant because people don't know sin. You just walk and you were quite innocently. The only place I've ever been pulled up with that was in Turkey, and it was in Fethiye. It was about a year ago. I was in Fethiye, which is a beautiful area. I used to own a place there years ago, and lovely place. But I thought I'll film Fethiye a bit, which is not the nicest beach in Turkey. But I'll go and film it. So I strapped my GoPro to my chest. I walked down to the seafront and I'm walking on the promenade with my GoPro filming. And the idea was to upload a walking video to this channel, of which there are quite a few walking videos. So yeah, I just filmed innocently, along the beachfront. And at the end of the promenade, I went into a coffee shop and put my GoPro away, done a little bit of filming there. I had a nice cup of coffee. And then I was walking along the the promenade to go and get a taxi back to where I was staying in Holidays. And this Turkish guy, I think he was the taxi, he was on the taxi office. He just gave me the most evil stares. And then he ran after me. Hey, you! What the hell's your bloody problem, mate? What's your problem? There can be aggressive sellers there. I thought, what's your bloody problem? He said, you photograph people. Yeah, why you photograph people down there? I was on a big GoPro, just filming this. He said, hey, we've had loads of trouble here. You photograph people. You photograph bloody people there. And I said, look at me, he said, I'll call the police. So I said, look, I'll delete it. No, because it's not a very good video anyway. It's not really that important. But then I thought about it.
Is that because there was families on the beachhead?
No. It was for another reason. It's because that area, Chalish, is where the Wongas hide out. These 60-odd-year-old women who go with the young Turkish fellas. That's where they are in the barges there. And all of these old women.
I love when you bring all about the Wongas up, because every single for about 10 years on the run in December, I used to always go to Sharm el Sheikh in Egypt because the weather was good. Yeah. And the amount of 65-year-old women, English women with the 25-year-old Turkish lads.
Yeah.
I just have a laugh with it, I don't take the piss because I realise that everyone, if you look tired, it's exactly the same, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just the opposite way round.
Yeah, I mean, role reversal, but yeah, I just think you probably got lots of 65-year-old women there who are going with young Turkish fellas, and these women are probably married back in England, or the young Turkish fellas have probably got about half a dozen Wongas.
The young Turkish ones will probably have about 10 wives in bloody Turkey or Egypt anyway.
Yeah, Patriotus One. Prices have went up in Estonia, but they are cheaper. Cities like Narva, really. So let's see. Who's this? AJ, everyone should do a cruise to see if you like it. Just book a week in case you don't like it. Not for me. Cruise ships, I like a bit more freedom. Okay. Well, I'd like to try one. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Martin Bertel. I'm sorry if I've ignored it. Obviously, we've got a guest tonight, so apologies for I've ignored it. Martin Bertel, do you have any plans to interview William Shatner, the film star about Star Trek? And TJ Hooker, I've been a film director and film produced on the Star Trek movies. Well, no immediate no immediate, no immediate, no immediate plans for that. Beam me up, Scotty. That's the only thing I'd say about that. Let's let me see. Okay, let me see. Yeah, McLaren F1 race. He's a big fan. Lewis. He likes Lewis. He likes Lewis Hamilton. Okay. Let me see. Okay, we'll go a little. Oh, let me see. Let me just waffle on a little bit. Matt, no, I don't want to talk about race. Don't want to talk about race. I don't want to talk about people avoiding tax either. There's a lot of stuff that I don't want to talk about here.
No, to be honest, when you talk about Lewis Hamilton and Anthony Joshua and these big characters, it'll always bring race into the conversation. It's hard because that's the demographic of.
There's so much. I'm skipping through the chat here. There's so much on easy tax. I'm not saying who would talk about, tax avoiding and all this kind of stuff. It's Sandra Taylor. Sandra Taylor, two scousers can chat for hours. Like, yeah, Sandra Taylor, she's happy. Nice to hear from you. Mark Ollig, I watched This Is Your Life. This Is Your Life. Yeah, absolutely. That was Eamon Andrews and then Michael Astor. I think the best This Is Your Life ever was in the late 70s, and I think it was Muhammad Ali. It was Muhammad. That was the best This Is Your Life. That was that was absolutely superb. I mean, all these famous people who came on to meet. I remember Muhammad Ali. What's his name? Eamon Andrews said, "We've got a special guest. He's an old opponent of yours. He's flown all the way from America, because this was filmed in Britain, all the way from America to appear in the show to pay tribute." And the next minute, Joe Frazier walks through these doors. And Joe Frazier says, Ali is a great man. He's a great man. And then rather than, shake hands with Muhammad Ali, I seem to recall, he put his head in his hands and he went, "Oh, Joe Frazier! How could you bring him on?"
You know what, Ed? I can't remember much of the This Is Your Life because I was born in '79, so I think that I can remember a few from the 80s, early 80s. Yeah. But I always remember Muhammad Ali in one of the interviews. I think it was with Parkinson, and Freddie Starr was doing the interview with him. I don't know if you've seen this one.
I do, yeah.
When he told him about the ghost story.
Yeah. Well,
and then it was hilarious. You know what Freddie Starr's like?
Yeah, absolutely. He can upstage anyone, even Muhammad Ali. He can upstage. I remember, it was the one that I'm thinking of. Freddie Starr started singing in an operatic voice, and didn't he sing something like? He sings like, I got on a bus, in opera folk. I got on a bus with a big bag full of sausages. And and I put the sausages on my lap, and then one of the sausages popped out of the bag, so I just cut the sausage off, and the woman sitting opposite fainted, and then another sausage popped out, so I cut that one off as well, and then I fainted. Okay, that was very. Yeah, Mark Ollie, I agree. One needs to respect the laws that come to you. Then absolutely. Yeah, you do need to respect the laws that come to you. Then, with regards to we're filming, I wouldn't go filming the Wongas in Turkey again. Definitely not. Let's see. Okay, let me have a little teensy little. Nick Ross says, "Eddie, they were not Thai girls that growed you. They were Thai boys." No, they were girls. I know the difference, mate. I know the difference. Bent over. Is there a window in your cabin?
Window. It's a balcony cabin.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to see outside now. We're going to see outside.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, we're seeing outside now. This is good. Wow, good stuff.
Pretty dark, like.
There you go. Fantastic. Fantastic. Now that's good. That looks like a real ship. That looks amazing. Oh my God. Looks very nice, nice calm sea out there. Let's say absolutely wonderful. That's great. Thanks for showing us that, because we've seen something that looks really authentic and you know, like, you know, cruise ship like. Fantastic.
To be honest, if I had once you get into the center of the ship, it's like a big metal barricade, so you lose signal.
Yeah.
So I can't just walk around and show you the whole ship.
No, but that was good enough. That was good enough. Let's see. Sometimes I get the feeling there's some fakes. There's some fakes in the chat. I mean, like fake, you know, all the YouTubers, but sometimes they fake, you know, each other. And I get the feeling there's a few of them. There's some people in the chat here who are usually nice people, but they're coming up with the most sarcastic comments tonight. Yeah, David Coleman. I'm only going to read out the nice comment. David Coleman, Mexico was a great place. I've been there so many times. I've always meant to return there. Same as Cuba. I had a great time in Cuba 20 years ago, but funny enough, I've never actually, you know, never actually filmed it, been there again. Nicholas, I hate people film me in non-pen, etc. Don't mind any ask first. Personally, I wouldn't want to film a bloke in non-pen. They all look the same. They're all big, overweight with baldy heads. Well, you know, like me, for example, yeah.
I've got the comments on, but I haven't been reading the comments yet. I'm such a laid-back person that I couldn't give two fucks what people say.
Yeah. Okay, Cats and Good Coffee. Maybe it's a new initiative of the Thai government to get rid. No, let's get rid of it. No, no one wants to get rid of it. They're fine. I did wrong. They do like well, you know, all different cultures do behave differently. But I must admit, I've met lots of Indians, you know, in Thailand and other places, and they're actually really quite good fun. They are good fun. You know, I tend to find the groups of Indian folks that are really, really good fun. They do, you know, they don't bother me personally. I don't know what it is. My own experience with meeting loads of groups of Indian fellas in Pattaya, they're always a good laugh. I've got nothing against them. I'm nothing against them at all.
On this cruise ship, most of the employees are from the Philippines and from India.
Yeah, I think I would have expected you to say the Philippines. I think they've got a culture of working on cruise ships, haven't they? The Philippines. Not too sure about the Indians.
No, there's loads of Indians from Goa and a few in Delhi on this cruise ship.
Let me just mention something here. Here's Sandra Taylor. I'm sure that he doesn't mind me being there. Why would I, Sandra? If you're a real woman, Sandra, you're welcome to be here. Most of the people in the chat are blokes, but women are welcome. As long as they don't tell us what to do. Funny enough, you know, I know you know you're not really interested in Bellefield, but I put that video out yesterday on the other channel, and a lot of people from outside of the usual my usual little community watch that
outside
video.
The demographic.
Yeah, outside, and it's got more than 100 subscribers. There's a hell of a lot of comments on that video, and also a lot of them are women. Some of them will have subscribed, so I got to maybe change my behavior a little bit. You know, with women it's okay when you talk to loads of fellas, but once you got a few women there, you start behaving a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sandra Taylor, we respect women on here. Don't worry about it.
You know what, Ed? You know when you talk about trolls, and you handle trolls really well because you just like you entertain trolls and just have a laugh with trolls.
Absolutely.
And then I watch a lot of Peter's streams as well, where he doesn't quite handle trolls like what you handle. I think a few trolls like get to him a little bit.
Yeah.
And the thing with trolls, what you got to realize is 99% of trolls are sitting in the mum's house still. They don't own their own house. They're sitting in the mum's house in the bedroom.
Yeah.
They can't go and do 3 or 4 or 5 holidays every single year and experience what we're experiencing. So they're jealous as fuck.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Sorry, I swore. Sorry, that's the first swear word tonight. So you look at them and you say, what have you done with your life?
Yeah.
What have you done? and then you say, come and follow me on Facebook. We have a little messenger, and let's see what you've done with your life, and let's see what I've done with my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Suddenly shrink.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, we all have our opinions in souls. I mean, one thing I've always resisted is making a video of how to deal with.
Yeah.
All YouTubers, they all do that. They all make that,
Yeah.
how to handle trolls. And I don't give a damn. I only have one requirement of trolls, is that they are funny. They make
you laugh.
If they're not funny, and if they're not funny, but sometimes I've even got ones who are not funny. I can manage to bring to the forefront and take the mickey out of them. They don't want. Yes, I'll tell you something. For the first year or so, more than a year, in fact, when I had this my other YouTube channel, I couldn't get anywhere with it. I couldn't get anyone to bloody watch it. It was, it was all experimental stuff, but nobody was watching it. And I thought, you know what? I would have given anything for trolls then, but I just didn't get them. It's only once you start making videos that, like I had on that video yesterday, it went outside of the box, and it's a few trolls were in there as well. Some people deliberately commented just to say, hateful thing. I don't care. I don't give a damn. They can stuff themselves, but all I care. Let's see. Okay, let me see. Let's just get through here.
So there's a comment there. I haven't been reading comments, but there's a comment there asking Greg Henry. So about trolls, does yours own his own house? I've worked hard all my life. I don't own one house. I rent houses out.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's great for you. That's great for you. Good for you anyway. Yeah. That's great for you. Let me see. Yeah, who's that? David Coleman. I will never go with a woman that's under 30. I will never go with a woman if under 30. If you do, just look like a dirty old man. There's plenty of them in bloody Thailand anyway. Kipak's brilliant. Okay. Dutch Farang, you were up north on the ship. Gonna get cold outside your room. Okay, is that room gonna get cold? Well, you're always cold on the water, aren't you?
No, so the temperature in the last two destinations was 17 C, so it was warm. I could walk around with shorts and t-shirt, but today it's been raining and it's been about 13 Celsius. So it's kind of that's kind of our spring, summertime sometimes, isn't it? 13 C. But when I go to Helsinki, it's dropping to about 10. So it's not winter temperature, no. No, it's still what month are we in now? 17, September. I've been to Ukraine in the month of September, and it was lovely there. It was really nice temperature. Yeah, Kipaks. Yeah, loads of fakes tonight, Eddie. Okay, that's fine. So let's see. Let me see now. Yeah, this is a comment here. Is a comment here from David Coleman. We'll get this one up. If you go on a cruise ship, take a dress. You want a spot on a lifeboat. Oh, that's a little bit sexist, that, isn't it? Okay. A little bit sexist. Let me see. Okay, waffle on a little bit here. Let me see now. Nick Ross, David Coleman, the bar girls ain't. Oh, no. We're not doing any of the racist stuff here tonight. Not doing any of this. Here, Kipaks. Yours living the dream one fella. Okay, good for you. I'll show you my fridge, by the way. Wait there.
Okay, we want to see his fridge.
The next beer.
Well, I'm having a hobgoblin. That's what I'm having, and that's bloody tasty.
I wouldn't mind a good goblin.
Tasty stuff. Okay, so let me see. I think some of these are turned to each other. Yeah, Cats and Good Coffee and David Coleman. You've been brainwashed by the feminists, but it's an all that I'm up. Okay, Cats and Good Coffee is replying to David Coleman. Little bit of tit for tat going on there. Who's this here? Let me see. Alistair Taylor. There's some very negative people on here tonight. I'm not sure what's going on. You know, there's sometimes some streams you get more trolls than others anyway. So let me see now. So anyway, you've shown us anything else you want to tell us, Yoz? Anyone like to ask Yoz any questions?
Well, I'm in Thailand when you and Peter are in Thailand, so it'd be good to meet up and have a bevy.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, that'd be great. And I think David are on here. I think a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people. Well, it seems to be a lot of people heading out to Thailand. I'm heading out early November, so I'll be in Bangkok in a little while and then Pattaya. Anyway, will you be in Pattaya?
I'm hitting Singapore on the 7th of November. I'm there for 4 or 5 nights, if I remember.
Yeah.
And then I hit Bangkok for 5 nights.
Yeah.
And then I think around the 15th of November, I'm in Pattaya for a week.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm in Pattaya the whole 3 weeks. I'm doing like the first 6 nights in Bangkok. And then you know, and one of the good things about Thailand is that the hotels seem really, really great value. They seem good. A lot of people are complaining that the flights are gone really expensive, but the hotels, they seem to be, if anything, cheaper. It's not the same with Cambodia. In Cambodia, it looks like the hotel's a little bit more expensive, but there's a simple reason for that. Cambodia takes dollars, you say, US dollars, and the dollar is very, very strong against other currencies. But yeah, I'll be spending a month in Thailand, then a month in Cambodia, or maybe more than that.
I haven't booked a hotel in Pattaya. I've booked a condo in Pattaya because Peter put me off the hotel because Peter said I didn't want to do the walk of shame through the hotel lobby with like different women every night. Yeah. So I've decided to go for a condo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've hardly ever stayed in condos because really I like the idea when I turn up at a hotel. I like the idea of a reception being in there. If I have a problem in the night, I want to be able to call on someone. And also I don't trust some of those doorways. I stayed in one condo for a while, you know, on the outskirts of Pattaya. And when I turned up there, you know, at night time, it was, you know, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. It's very, very dark at the night time, and you know, you got to use that, you know, key fob to get in. I just didn't trust that really. Okay, so let's see. So anyway, we're just gonna like a little waffle on. We'll have to talk. I think some people might want to talk about Bellefield anyway, I'm just gonna have a little bit of a squeaky door. Yeah, here's some of the comment for you. Go to the bridge and tell the captain to set the course.
I've just read that one there about St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
St. Petersburg was actually on the itinerary for this cruise.
Yeah.
The cruises are normally organised 2 or 3 years before they actually set sail. So St. Petersburg was on this cruise. We're literally not far from St. Petersburg.
Really? Yeah, really.
But it's been, obviously, for one thing or another, it's been taken off the itinerary.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a lovely city, that.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone from the kinds of the West is going to be visiting that city for maybe 10 years now.
No. I think, let me see. Who's this one? I am Till. Yoz ever travelled in Central America?
No, so I've done 2 weeks in Rio. That's which is more South America than Central America.
Well, South America.
Yeah. So no, I've done Rio. I've done Mexico. I've done the whole of the. I've done basically not every Caribbean island, but I've done most of the Caribbean islands, and I've done in North America.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here's a question here. Mike from Wales. Any icebergs around there?
Not that I've seen, no.
Hopefully, no. We don't want a Titanic disaster. Yeah, let's see. This David Coleman. This proves I'm the real David Coleman. Toronto is the capital city of the Canadian province of Ontario. Okay. Kipak says Yoz needs a YouTube channel. Yeah, well, I'd like to. I'd watch it. Yeah, Nick Ross. Which was the best island in the Caribbean, Yoz?
So it's not one of the big islands that you're going to think that's the best island. There's an island called Tortola.
Yeah.
And there's a beach on Tortola. So when you arrive at Tortola on the cruise ships, you arrive on the south of the island.
Yeah.
Then on the north of the island, there's a beach called Cane Garden Beach.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the nicest beaches you'll visit in the whole of the Caribbean. And it's not popular. People don't like Antigua, St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Martin. This island's very small, but it's probably got one of the nicest beaches you'll get in the whole Caribbean. So Tortola is my favorite island.
Okay, well, it sounds lovely. I think in the Caribbean, the only place I've been to is Belize, which is actually on the mainland. It's not actually an island.
Yeah, it's not an island.
Cuba, no. Also Cuba. Okay, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. It's going to do squeaky door time, and then I think we'll have a little bit of a chat. If you want to hang on, yes, it's it's up to you. But we'll hang on. We'll talk about a little bit about Bellefield.
I'll tell you what, Ed. You go to the toilet, and then once you come back, cut me off, and then I can get involved in the chat more because I haven't been chatting with the guys.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah. And just
Yo. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so should we say thanks for coming along then, Yoz, anyway?
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, so people want to know, how did he get in touch with Facebook again? Yoz Travels, Facebook.
Yoz Travels is an actual YouTube channel, but I've done not by one video and a couple hundred subscribers. I've got nothing on it, and I don't even know if I'm going to put stuff on. But on Facebook, exactly the same name, Yoz Travels on Facebook. I'm starting to upload everything on there. As you know, you, Peter, Clive, there's loads of you that have started to follow me on that. So Facebook, Yoz Travels, and then I'm always in your chats, Peter's chats, and a couple of the chats as well. So that's how I'm going to carry on.
Okay, that's it. And what I do, I'm obviously more familiar with YouTube than I'm with Facebook. What I do know about Facebook, there are some people who have come onto YouTube from Facebook, and because they've already got such a big following on Facebook, they tend to have really done well on YouTube. Yeah. So anyone wants to get in touch with Yoz on Facebook, Yoz Travels, quite easy name to remember that. And I look forward to more of your pictures. And thanks for coming on, and thanks for your report anyway. Looks fantastic. Problem, Ed. I wish I was there, funnily enough. Brilliant.
Peace out.
Okay, cheers, Ross. Cheers. Okay, so that was Yoz Travels. He'll be back in the chat now. Okay, and it's been a really, really great guest. Oh, a cruise ship. I've got to go on one of them, maybe next year. But I think with Yoz, telling us all about him, giving us some great information, then I can't wait. I've got to try it. It is one thing that I just got to try. A cruise ship, fantastic. Let me see now. Okay, so let's see. So let's see. Let's a little bit on the chat. Okay. David Coleman, I would get myself into someone on a cruise ship, always looking for some kind of woman. Okay. Let me see. Let me see now. Okay, let me see now. Okay. Yoz Travels. Cheers for that anyway. Cheers, guys. Okay. Thanks for coming on, Yoz. Mark Oleg, it's like CompuServe. Did you mention something? It's like MySpace. I actually wasn't on the internet when all of that was going on. MySpace. Kipax, I had space too. Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. A lot of people will have seen the video. We've been over an hour and 20 minutes now. It's been great to have a guest on. I'll just mention a little bit because some people will want to talk about Alex Bellefield anyway. So a little bit of a question. Might as well put this question on. There's no harm in putting this question on. Yeah, create a banner. Okay, we'll put this question up. If okay, so you know, received. Okay, we'll put this question up because a lot of people will want to comment on this. And the question is, should Bellefield have received such a big sentence? Okay, anyone want to comment on that? Like I say, I've done a video yesterday, and it seems to have done pretty okay. It's got a lot of people who don't normally watch that at the channel. They've come along now. Everyone by now knows who Alex Bellefield is. He was a YouTuber, and I was watching him the last couple of years, and he was terrific. He was really, really terrific, but he turned out to be not a very nice person, and now he's been given 5.5 years in prison. He, you know, for stalking. He never physically stalked anyone or caused any violence, but he put the fear of God into a lot of people. He messed with the wrong people, and now he's in prison for 5.5 years. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a talk about him. Okay, Danish bacon. What's Alex Bellefield having for dinner tonight? Gambian sausage. You never know. You never know. David Coleman, lol. Yoz Travels, lol. Nick Ross. Bellefield pissed off the wrong people, and the sentence is a tad over the top. But a sentence is a tad over the. Now, this is interesting. This is the thing that I want to talk about in a minute. Cats and good coffee. Eddie, an idea with a question. Should hotels in Thailand ban tourists? Cats and good coffee. Eddie, an idea for the question. Should hotels in Thailand ban tourists that want to take a different Thai chick every night to his hotel room? Wash your mouth out with soap. That's all I'll say to that one. Ben Leno. I've never heard of him before. Okay, well, I've done a video on my main channel. Let me see. Mark Ollie. I had 2 people troll me for using the BBC as a source for Bellefield. Yeah, you did get quite a big response. I noticed that, man. I didn't really reply to a lot of the comments because there's a hell of a lot of comments on that. I don't know how big that video is going to get. I mean, I had to do that yesterday because simply it is topical. And Bellefield was sent to prison yesterday morning, and he. So I just felt that I had to get, and the reason I wanted to make that video, let's understand something. There are some people out there whose entire YouTube channels are based around commenting on Alex Bellefield. Me, that was the first video I ever made about Alex Bellefield, and I just wanted to get on my chest because it's funny, I admired the guy a lot. I thought he was absolutely great. I loved his phone-ins. I loved his twice a week YouTube live streams. Absolutely terrific. But I loved it, but I just feel so let down by the guy. You know, it's like you think that you know someone, and he turns out to be not the person that you know. Mark Ollick, let me see, where are we now? McLaren F1 race. I haven't watched Bellefield. David Kiernan, maybe you got a harsh sentence. A couple more comments, and I'll mention that. Capo 17. Yes, a private client donated a large sum to the scammer. He wanted his day in court. We made sure he got it. Yeah. Okay. So, Catago Coffee. No idea who Bellefield is. Mike from Wales. Prisoner's a bit much. Should have just put him in the stuff. I'll try and get a. Can I get a picture of him? Can I get a picture of Bellefield? I'm sure I got one on there somewhere. Okay. This is a picture of Alex Bellefield. You may know his ugly mug. Yeah, I'm in prison. That was his catchphrase. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. That was his catchphrase. Well, there's there's the thumbnail that I used. I'm in prison, and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay. McLaren F1 mates, I haven't watched the Bellefield video yet. Will do after the stream, mate. Okay, so that's actually what Alex Bellefield looks like, and he was a former BBC presenter who left in acrimonious circumstances, and then he hates everyone, he hates everything. He spent the last couple of years pushing his luck. He was slacking down so many celebrities, and when you got to realize, he's not really that rich. The people that he's dealing with, they can afford far more expensive lawyers than he can. Far more expensive lawyers than he can. So he was playing with fire. But even so, I didn't expect him to get 5.5 years. Let me see now. Okay, Jock Martins. Thought Bellefield was good at the start, made a lot of good points, but when he started asking for donations to sue the BBC, became a little suspicious, and it turned out good. For those who don't know, if you watch him regularly, he was banging on about how much he hates the BBC. He's going to take the court, he's going to sue the pants, and then he realized we need barristers, so he got hundreds of thousands of pounds in donations, and right up to the last minute, these people who donated to him realized, they were under the false assumption that his court case was about him taking the BBC to court and suing lots of people. And it wasn't. He was the one being taken to court because he's intimidated and trolled and harassed people for years with thousands of emails and thousands of nasty. And he himself was taken to court as part of. He's being taken to court. Sorry, I've had a little bit too much to do. He's being taken to court for stalking charges, which is a very, very serious offence. David Coleman. That was a fake David Coleman. I never said that about Toronto and Ontario. This person is sick of it. There's a lot of faking going on, mate. A lot of faking going on. Pinball, the sentence of 5.5 years is high, probably as a deterrent. He's going to do around half of that. Even a couple of years, it's still quite a lot. Mike from Wales, 20 lashes would have been the right punishment. What country are you from? Yogi Bear, he put the fear of God in people, and some people were living in fear of their lives. Mental abuse is classed in the same way as racism. So he should have been double. The country is a better place now. Apparently, I can say this now, but the person who he trolled initially was Jeremy Vine. I don't know what grudge he had personally against Jeremy. No, Jeremy Vine, I don't watch him, but he's a well-known TV presenter, very, very well known. And apparently, he trolled him to such an extent that Jeremy Vine, and he said this in court, was fearful for him and his family. He actually thought Bellefield, this person we'd never heard of before, was actually going to turn up at his home. And apparently Jeremy Vine, what he'd done is he actually had a photograph of Bellefield in his hallway close to his front door. So if Bellefield ever did turn up at his home, his family would look at the photograph and recognize who it was who was turning up at the door. But Jeremy Vine he didn't know this person before. All he knew is that Bellefield is some kind of wacko who was launching a hate campaign against him. And he was fearful for himself and his family. That's very, very understandable. Nick Ross, as I said before, it's another attack on freedom of speech. There'll be more as the people who run the country become more right-wing, okay? Kipax, first time seeing him. He's well known in the YouTube community. Let me see. Let's Danish Baker was sentenced harsher being right wing. Well, one of the reasons that a lot of people liked him is that he spoke up against the dinghy divers and all of that, and he did say a lot of the things that a lot of us were just thinking. So anyway, let me see. The thing is, okay. So the thing I want to just mention about Bellefield, a lot of people are saying there's a lot of videos out there about him right now. A lot of people are saying that 5.5 years, it's a bit steep, that isn't it? I mean, what they're saying, he never physically assaulted anyone or killed anyone, and there's like grooming gangs and all these heinous bloody murders and you don't get that much. And basically, what they're saying is that why should he get 5.5 years where bloody horrible word, I don't even like to say it, but grooming gangs should get less than that. No, that's not the answer. The answer is that all of those gangs should get more. It's not that Bellefield should get less. It's just they should get more. People should get more for murder than what they're currently getting. It is true that there are people who commit murder and then they manage to reduce the manslaughter, and they're out of prison in a couple of years. Well, that's the thing that's wrong. It's not that Bellefield sentence is too harsh. It's that the sentence for all those other people, the violent criminals, is too bloody low. Increase their sentences, and I can't really think it's right to say that Bellefield should get a lesser sentence because the others are getting no. The violent criminals should get more. They should be in prison for. They should be locked up in prison and the bloody key thrown away. Yoz Travels, I like Vine. I've never actually really watched Jeremy Vine, only so I don't really know what it's about. I must admit, one of the reasons that I watch Bellefield is because he's a bit outrageous, and I like that. I've never actually watched Vine personally. Maybe I might watch a little bit of Vine now. I'm not even sure what channel he's on, to be honest with you. Yoz Travels, he's stalk Vine. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the early days, the first couple of months, I don't know what grudge, because I don't know what grudge that he had against Vine, because he wasn't one of the people that we work with at the BBC. But he said some very, 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 very nasty things about Vine. Some really, really offensive, very, very nasty things about him. Sean Harris, if he was taking money under false pretenses, he deserves a sentence. The important thing to note is that Bellefield is not being sent to prison for what you say there, taking money under false pretenses. He hasn't. That's not the charge. He's being sent to prison for the charge of stalking and harassment. 4 people, I think there was 8 people he was charged with, and he was found guilty on 4 counts. And that's the reason that he's been sent to prison. As for the other stuff, if he's taking money to false, well, you never know. That could surface in the future, couldn't it? So let's see. Okay. So let's just have a little teensy-weensy look through here. Oh, what am I doing now? A little bit more hobgoblin. Okay. Nice. This is a nice beta, this hobgoblin. Maybe because I haven't been drinking too much of this stuff in recent times. Okay. David Coleman, please remove the fake DC. I bet he doesn't watch GB News and doesn't love the Rose, shaming it, although he does have a great sense. I'm reluctant to remove people who fake people because I've been known to remove the real people by mistake. David Coleman, this sounds like David Coleman. I did it for 2 weeks in Cuba. It was great. Same girl, showered all the time. Okay, sounds pretty good. My experience with Cuban girls is that they don't mind. Cuban people don't mind being on camera, but maybe that was 20 years ago. Maybe they've changed now. I'd say one country where they were really, 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 really hostile to the camera was Ethiopia. Get that away from me! No, you don't even have to point your bloody camera at them. As soon as you take a camera in your pocket, they're onto you, I think Baldwin Bankrupt, that wonderful vlogger, he was in an African country, wasn't he? And they clocked him with the camera and they surrounded him and made him delete the film and everything, very, very touchy there. Let's see. I am told he slightly off lockdown, called out the government he sent against the Islam. He was great in his day. Who's this? Nick Ross. Can't stand Bellefield. Can't stand Jeremy Vine myself. Sadly, Bellefield went too far. Okay, I'm just gonna go through here. Jock Martins, Bellefield had a 10-year campaign of harassing people, doxing people's children, ringing people's parents and scaring them. He was going to ringing people's parents and scaring them that he was going to take everything in the area. Bellefield's not a nice guy, nasty character. I mean, the thing is, he would win you over because he was so outspoken and he was fun, he was funny. I mean, he was irreverent and he was great to listen to, but I never thought for 1 minute that he's a nice guy. Not at all. Mike from Wales. Ed, what do you think the punishment should have been? I think the punishment should have been what he got. I think he should have. I think that's what he only said about a couple of years. No sympathy for him. No sympathy. He knew what he was getting. Bellefield's an intelligent man. He knew what he was getting into. When if you play with fire, you get burnt. If I stuck my bloody hand in a fire, look at me, I'm clever, aren't I? And the next minute, my hand's on fire. Do you seriously think anyone would have any sympathy for me? No, he knew what he was getting into. Mark Alec, I'm having some warm chicken noodle soup as we chat. Since I don't have a girl there to keep me warm, I figured the soup is satisfactory. I tell you what, I cooked the chicken yesterday. I got one of those 2 for £8 ones. And I cooked the chicken, so I still got some nice cold chicken in the fridge. And I was thinking of having maybe chicken soup, on toast or chicken soup with toast, something like that. That sounds lovely, that, Mark. That's right up my street, that is. Matthew Cartwright. The answer is no. The answer is no. There should have been groomers that have served lighter sentences. Having said that, they didn't. He didn't help himself. Should have had a look. This is it, Matthew Cartwright. I mean, the question is, I'll just put the question: should Bellefield have received such a big sentence? You saying no. There have been groomers that have served lighter sentences. No, my answer to that is Bellefield should have been given what he gave. I think he bloody deserved it personally. I have no sympathy for him. The answer is that those G's, I don't even like saying that word. It's such a horrible word that they should have been given far more sentence. It's not that Bellefield should have been given less. It's that they should have been given far more. We're a soft touch country with people like that. Bellefield obviously ruffled the wrong people. I don't think the two things can be compared. It's those bloody groomers that G's that should be thrown in prison and the key thrown away. Let me see. Okay, so I'm going to waffle through here. Yoz Travels, Ethiopia, the ugliest women in the world. I like bald, but he's done much the last few months. He's not doing much. He got thrown out of Russia, didn't he? He got his marching orders from Russia anyway. Well, that's the way the video read. Anyway. Oh, Ethiopia is a bit of a disgusting, Ethiopia gave me a new phrase. Whenever I'm having an argument with them, with anybody, I always say, look, mate, you're about as charming as an Ethiopian toilet. And if anyone's ever seen an Ethiopian toilet, you know what I mean. Okay, so let's see. Matthew Cartwright. Can we talk about bar girls now? Well, it's a bit late. On this channel, we talk about other things on it. On the other channel, that's basically a travel channel, and we talk about stuff like that. Funnily enough, I feel that I know there's a few ladies who subscribe to that other channel because of my video yesterday on Bellefield, and when I do a live stream, when we start talking about wongas and 20-stone women and all this kind of stuff, I kind of wonder how they're going to react. It'll be interesting. Kipax, Eddie is on fire tonight. Not exactly. I'm in my bloody pajamas. I am tilt. Agree with your video, Ed. Bellefield was good at first. However, he got too big, Ed, and ended up a total dick. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I was good because, like you said, when I said in that video I made yesterday that in the early days, he was like a breath of fresh air. He was brilliant. It reminded me like, years ago, there was a guy called Alan Bezic on Red Rose Radio, and he was the opposite. Bezic was actually very politically correct. He was actually very left wing, really, when you think about it. Bellefield was just like a breath of fresh air. No one was doing that, and there's no other YouTube, phone-ins, I think, that I've actually religiously watched twice a week. I watched Bellefield because he was so bloody damn good. But what a pity it had to come to an end. Arthur, let's see. Arthur Lobon. He went against the left-wing woke BBC, and the lefty judges decided to make an example of him. Okay, fair enough. Mark Ollig. Yoz Travels, was great seeing you in the chat with Eddie. But Mark Ollig's welcome to come on here if ever you want to come on. I'll get in touch with you on Facebook, Mark. Welcome to come on here whenever you want, mate. Welcome. David Coleman. Eddie, watch out. You'll end up in jail. I haven't done anything, mate. Let me see it. Okay. Let me see. Okay, where are we? Eastern man. For sentences of 2 years or more, you have to do half in prison and then the rest can be outside on license. Okay, that's fair enough. Nice to hear from you, Eastern man. Nice to hear from you, mate. Let me see. Okay. So listen, I'm going to... I'm going to wrap this up now. It's been a nice little laid-back live. This is what this channel's all about. Nice little laid-back. We do a variety of stuff here, On the other channel, that's essentially a travel channel. But funny enough, that video I've done yet, that's pushed me to over 43,000 subscribers on that. As for me, in about 8 weeks' time, I'll be heading out to Thailand. I cannot wait. I've booked up my first 8 weeks of hotels in Thailand and Cambodia, and I'm pleased to say that they're really, really good value, and I can't wait. And I can't really say more than that. I can't wait. Okay, I'm gonna finish this off soon. A few final comments. I think we waffled on enough about Bellefield. Okay, a few final comments. Let me see now. Who's this? I am tilt. I wonder if Bellefield will stream from prison. I somehow doubt it. I don't know. I don't think they have internet in there, do they? Okay, Mark Ollig, excellent live stream chat and guest to see. Okay, thank you, Mark. Okay, thanks for that, mate. And I love your new profile pic. Stan Laurel, brilliant. Okay, Kipax. Good night, everyone, and take care, Eddie. Okay, that's it. So I'll be back on Monday night. We're going to be doing the big question. There's a few big questions to tell. I'm not going to talk about Bellefield anymore because the internet's full of that, and it's been there, done that now anyway. So on Monday, I'll be doing the big question. On Monday, by the way, is the Queen's, Her Majesty's funeral. So God save the Queen. I'm going to raise a toast. I know I haven't really mentioned it, but God save the Queen anyway. She's been a wonderful Queen. She gets her funeral is on Monday. Cheers to Her Majesty. Okay, guys. See you Monday night at 10 o'clock. All the best. Have a great week.